Welcome to the Now You Know podcast, a podcast that will guide you to successfully navigate the online world and give you, as a super bonus, some thought-provoking takes on life. Without further ado, here is your host, entrepreneur, marketer, professor, and author, Flavio Salza. We are happy to have you here today. Enjoy the show.
Yo, Flavio here. So let's jump right in. There are three things that you need to get it right online. The first one is positioning, a concept that we have already talked on the last Now You Know episode. If you did not listen yet, do not skip it and catch up when you can. So the question is, what are the other two? Well, they are voice and tone.
So, what do you want to do? I'm here, baby. I'm ready, baby. I'm waiting.
Okay, not that voice and tone. So, what is voice and tone? Well, there are many definitions on what are they, but the way I see is that voice would be your personality, the way you communicate, and that should carry the essence of your message. So it should be a single voice. Many people and writers wrongly believe that your voice should be crafted by researching your targeting or audience. In other words, your public or listeners, like I like to call them, will determine your voice style. In my view, this is completely no sense because then you will create a false voice. So your voice should be crafted by you and should not lose your natural personality touch. Now, regarding tones, some social media gurus also recommend that you adapt or use different tones to again fit particular groups or social media outlets. Well, guess what? Another bull. Again, that's controlled by you and your daily mood that may vary during the day, and that's simply the natural way. I can give you an example. When I started on LinkedIn, some members over there were very harsh commenting that my human tone was not appropriate for the site. I got and I still get it, tons of "this is not Facebook" comments on my posts. But I don't care, really. I think this is not Facebook comments might be the dumbest and weakest argument someone can mention online. I got news for these people. I love humor, sarcasm included, and I will not change that just to satisfy someone. So I will keep my positivity, humor style as my tone, and you too, that's listening right now, should keep your tone intact as well. What I learned was that those people that were complaining about human style on LinkedIn were not my listeners' target anyway. I always want to attract people with a positive take on life. And if that comes with a cup of laughs and good spirit, even better. So reverse this thought that you should adapt or use different voice and tones for your public audience, followers, whatever you name it. Let's do the other way around. Be true to your voice and tone, and let that alone do the work to attract the right listeners into your direction. I would say that really works not only for the individuals, but also for companies and brands. Now, it's not to be confused voice and tone with the content itself that you are creating or sharing. If you share, let's say, an obscure cat video from the corners of the internet, chances are your content could do well on Facebook, Twitter, and not so well on LinkedIn. But everything will depend on how you present that cat video. What is your headline, your catch, intro phrase, or the situation context, right? Well, if you want to know, actually, I did share a couple of cat videos this week on LinkedIn, and they did pretty well in views and collecting laugh emojis. And that's because my listeners are already familiar with my voice and tone, and they appreciate it and tolerate that. So again, your voice and tone, if real to your personality, will attract the right crowd in your direction. In the end of the day, you do not need tons of followers. What you need is good listeners, and that's more valuable than you can imagine for your future online. So, as a final recap, you need to get positioning, voice, and tone right, so you can attract and start to build your good listeners crowd. That's it for today. Again, feel free to share this podcast with those that you know are struggling online to get their message across or heard. The idea here is very simple. I'm sharing via this podcast what I have actually written on the Now You Know guidebook, the one that you already bought, 5 copies, right? So the idea is to benefit others of this information, but free of charge. So if you can support myself on sharing the Now You Know podcast around, I really appreciate, and it helps me to reach the ones in need of such digital marketing information. So take good care, and remember,
the Force will be with you, always.
Thanks for listening. The Now You Know guidebook is now available at Amazon worldwide. Get your copy on paperback or Kindle. You can also keep up and interact with Flavio Salza via LinkedIn and Twitter. Plus, check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, keep rocking and loving on what you do.